We talked about some of our 2007 goals and objectives.
In a perfect world, when you call a meeting, everyone shows up on time, comes prepared, is not distracted by their PDA or laptop, and stays alert and engaged throughout the meeting. But it's not a perfect world, is it? People show up late.
Sorry.
They blog and text message during the meeting, lose interest, and burn out. So it's no longer enough to say that good leadership and preparation are the key to a successful meeting.
It took forever for us to find the right wording.
Most meetings are boring. That's why people don't want to go to them. That's the problem with meetings. We always say you can't live with them, can't live without them. The problem is most businesses live with them poorly.
Bert Decker, a communications expert, best-selling author, and entrepreneur, has some very helpful and practical tips to make every one of your meetings shine.
I have a general ground rule that we give our corporate clients, and it says, take your meetings generally and cut the number of meetings you have in half. And then those meetings that remain, because they're important because you're going in a direction, cut their time in half. You'll be much more effective, and they will be much more interesting.
There are three main ways to communicate.
Face-to-face, the most persuasive. That's where you have meetings, and that's where it's powerful if you're going to try to persuade, influence, create action. Then there's the phones, and there are phone conferences. That's a different type of meeting, but at least you get the emotional tone of the voice. And then there's email. If you just have task and information, do it in email. But if you need to make a decision, you need some action out of it, great place for a meeting. Most leaders of meetings don't realize it's their responsibility to keep people engaged, to have a productive meeting, to actually control it. And the leader has to not only set an agenda in the first place, but he or she has to take responsibility for all of the interaction, and there are ways to do that. A lot of people are embarrassed to call on people, and it's really valuable to call on people.
And at what time do you need everything from this group?
Actually,
You want all of your team to be participating. You want to encourage those people who tend to be quiet. Videotape your meetings. Watch yourself. Video is a very powerful tool. Just put one up in the back. If you are leader of a team and you're having many meetings, you will be able, if you have to sit through 20 minutes of a videotape that's really boring, you will know it's boring and you'll do something to change the next one. The attention span of an adult is 8 seconds. Doesn't mean that you can only keep people for 8 seconds, but you can lose them. Where's the place that people go and they sit for 2 hours and they're enthralled, they're captivated, they're interested? Feature films or theatrical presentations, because there's drama, there's conflict, there's resolution. Most meetings are just information oriented. They become data dumps, and that is not a good place to use people's time, particularly if you're in a corporation. You're wasting so much energy and time. So what we recommend to our clients and to anybody, make your meeting interesting. Add some conflict. I don't mean artificial conflict so that you have people fighting each other, but action-oriented conflict, this point against this point, and maybe pre-plan some of that so that people come in and they have a robust dialogue.
And then, yes,
I got a question. Where's the best part?
So that people are encouraged to speak out. They're encouraged to have some emotion and some passion.
Check periodically to make sure your participants are paying attention. Body language is key.
So body language is a key part of it, and it's not a soft part either. The most important body language you can use is your eye communication. And as a leader in a meeting, you will control a lot of things unconsciously by just who you look at and why. If you have somebody who talks a lot, and every team has a talker, and so we call him Joe Blowhard, and he's just talking all the time over here. And you have somebody who you wished it was really bright and you wish would talk a little bit more. We'll call her Susie Shyness. She's over here. She does not talk much. Joe Blowhard's talking here. But you're the leader. With your eye communication alone, you can just, Joe will be talking here, and you can just glance over at Susie and then go back to Joe, glance over at Susie, and what will happen is Susie will tend to increase, Joe will tend to decrease. Doesn't mean he'll stop. But where is the leader's attention going? It's going wherever the eyes are. So you can do a lot with your eye communication.
And finally, the way you end a meeting can be critical.
The best way to conclude a meeting is having an action step. Because if you're having a meeting and it's just a data dump information, no action step, why have the meeting anyway? So that's a good measure of a good meeting, action step. So what we recommend to anybody who's the leader of the meeting is you might have 1, 2, or 3 action steps, different people doing, or a group action step or whatever, but definitely leave with action steps. And then as a leader, you also want to end with a bang, not a whimper. So end with a quote, or a little story, or something that is interesting so people are upbeat about it, or end with a laugh.
For more information, go to bnet.com.